Well, I think one of the big strategic areas and a focus for every firm is growth. Okay. And here's the dilemma, if you want to call it that. Firms sell time for a living. Okay. They have metrics and they're very good at driving the metrics, whether it's hours of production, rate per hour, days of investment. That's all well and good. And that's how the bills get paid and how everybody makes money. But if you want to grow, okay, you have to have a focused program for each of those partners and many of the senior managers. So what does that look like? Well, let's start with how many hours do people devote to their career? And for the average person, when you take into account training and vacation and firm time, et cetera, you're probably talking about 2,600 hours a year. And then you take off those things I just mentioned, training, et cetera, and vacation. And when you get down to it, it leaves you, the average partner, if they're charging at about 50% of their normal time, so they're looking for 1,000 to 1,100 charge hours, that only leaves about 500 hours of available time to what I call invest in the future. And that's either to do some prospecting, marketing, if you will, or to spend some time with your staff. That's not a lot. Just if you do the 52 week year, of course, you're looking at less than 10 hours a week, but it doesn't come like that, as we know. It's a little bit more bunched. But I think the important thing in all of that is to focus the resources. Then you get to the next level and you'd say, well, I've got some partners who I think are really good at practice development. I've got some that, perhaps aren't as good. They're not as comfortable for whatever reason. Maybe they're more technical, they're more at home, but they're really good partners. So then really I got to look at my partner complement and say, how do I, let's say, deploy them to their best and highest use? So, and it's inevitably and it's been my experience, Dan, that the partners that are really good at serving clients, generally speaking, are very good at practice development also. So that, presents another challenge, because how do I go to that high performing partner and say, listen, I know you're doing great and I'd love to have 10 more of you, but I need you to back off some element of your client service role and hand some of those smaller clients off, because I want you to go out and chase some other opportunities because you're good at it. So then, you got to get that partner to trust you, because the one thing they understand, whether it's said explicitly or implicitly, is they know there's a very strong correlation between their production, their revenue managed, and their pay. But yet, if I want to grow, I've got to get the people that are capable, I got to get them to spend more time in the marketplace. And I've got to do that in such a way that I got to be patient. And if I don't have success right away, the one thing I absolutely cannot do is cut their pay. So, we got to trust it, and you got to, what someone very smart once said, what gets measured gets done. There is a fair amount of truth to that, but too often times there's not much of a focused program on growing the firm.